No, I'm going to stand up. Hi, because some of the people back don't know who I am. My name's Nora Nelson, and I'm on the legislative committee for our union. Let me ask, how many people are from Illinois? Raise your hands. Ooh. All right. I'm going to ask you a question from all those people, okay? The reason why we were elected to go to Washington, D.C. was to represent Local 3354. We might be small, but I'm going to tell you one thing, we're really, really mighty. We got a certificate of appreciation for PAC, which is Political Activist Campaign. Right now you're at a union level. What we went to was one step up. We talked to all the unions, all the unions, TSO, TSA, Social Security, VA, what else? Homeland Security. They were all there in Washington. And we had about close to, what, 700 people in Washington at one time. We, as a local, got a certificate that we got the most people signed up for PAC. Wow. And what PAC is that you're paying your union dues, but to get representation, like what we're doing right now in Washington, and to your senator and Congress, we ask if you can contribute a little bit more to PAC. It could be, I do $5. I figured, well, you know, soda costs a lot more per week, so $5 per paycheck is not going to hurt me. That helps us represent all of you in Local 3354. From this recognition, we got 2 $100 gift cards that we are going to be giving away at a PAC function. And what that is, it's going to be after work, casual, out of the work area here, to just get to know one another and get to know more information about PAC. Yes?
What does PAC mean?
Political Activist Campaign. Action Campaign, sorry. Okay, so out of 100 to 499 members, that we got the #1 category. So give yourself a hand on that one. That's a lot. We will, and Jose and I were in Washington, not only just talking to senators and congressmen. I mean, that's what we were doing. We set appointments for 10 different senators and congresspeople. How many are voters? Every one of you has an opportunity to write your congressmen and your senators. I used to say, they're not going to listen to me. I'm just a peon. Oh no, they listen to you. Because remember that petition that you all signed and you gave us and for sequestration and that? We had 600 signatures. Wow. And we gave those all to every one of those Congress and congressional people from Missouri and Illinois. We also were talking to them about, what can I say? Center of Excellence. Bring it here to St. Louis. We want jobs. We all want jobs. We want to improve ourselves. We want the mobility in it. That's the start. That's what we were trying to do. We're trying to do the grassroots of that. We were also talking about new people that we're hiring. They're going to, now they're in the process of they have to pay more to their retirement. We want to stop that because that's taking money out of someone's pay. Too much out of it. So we were activists and telling the people on the Hill we wanted to stop that. I'm trying to think what else. Let's see, federal lawmakers said federal employees have taken a beating with no other groups of Americans. Since 2011, they've been handed over $119 billion in freezes, and that includes the retirement contributions for new hires. No pay increases. We were telling them, that's not fair. Do you guys get you guys get an increase? I'm sure they do. Their families getting an increase. We're not. That is not fair to a federal employee or any family member to a federal employee. I'm trying to think. I'm just kind of nervous. Excuse me. also talked to the Congress people about the number one thing right here, Washington Post. Remember Steve was just saying that we had to have coalitions here in St. Louis? How many of you noticed that there were some of us picketing during the strike? I was one, yes, your picture's right here. I'm the one with the cardinal that was white. And I don't want to, I'm glad they didn't show that picture. But I'm going to tell you, really, as a union, you need to be supportive of one another. If we're not here to scratch our backs and have other people help us, there's not going to be a union. And how many of you went to private sector, came from private sector? And you know what it's like. That can happen here if we don't have a strong union. I'm getting my house, not my pitch now, but we had a lot of discussion on the Hill on that, but we also had discussion with people from USD headquarters. I mean, we're talking about, who do we talk about? Go on, you go ahead. Thank you.
All right. My name is Will Brain. I'm Unit Vice over CSC. And just to kind of sum up what Nora was discussing is one of the reasons for that PAC, those awards was we received in USDA, we were the ones that went out fighting and getting those documents during sequestration, which upheld everyone throughout. What the work we did stopped everyone from in USDA from losing or being furloughed at any time. And that's one of the reasons for this award. We did such a good job just within this local, throughout the nation, no one at USDA did it. Because what we did was explain to our USDA agency heads, here's what you need to do. When they come out here and say, we saved $1 billion, we showed them how to save that money and how they can allocate that. And that was one of Steve's biggest things. So trust me, it was not by any work of the agency they came up with this great idea. They were ready to cut, like Congress asked them to cut. But we showed them how you could cut and save our jobs. And it saved for all of USDA. The reason for the award was that when VA and all the other people, they did have to go through it. They were trying to find out from us, what did you guys do to stop it? And it's a lot of the political work. So let's get to some of the stuff. One of the things that came up, and I can't think of the gentleman's name, what's his name, who was in our meeting? We talked about upward mobility, and I know some of you in DOD, is that DOD, you just went through the Center of Excellence? I'm sorry, I'm CSC Unit Vice, so I'm trying to pull all your stuff in. DCFO and O&M, right. Now, you guys had, what's the guy's name, Lester?
Lester, yeah.
Lester explained to the agency heads in that meeting about how some of your positions leave you at a stranded place, like there's no upper mobility or your ladder is filled out. We have heard from DC, they are going to make changes to that to allow you to move to different positions and create upward mobility so that you can get out of these stagnant positions. We've gotten a guarantee from that. Do you want to elaborate on it at all? Okay.
People that are stuck, but you have some financial specialists that have been stuck in a grade 9 for years, and there's been really nowhere for them to go. The idea is to change that system to where the jobs actually have a ladder promotion. So if you're a 9 and you're stuck in a financial position, and there's another financial specialist or an accountant or whatever, you could actually do the job for a year of that higher paying graded job, and then just do a career promotion from it. Instead of having to do this whole application from outside or inside, and hopefully you get selected. No, if you're put in this career path, you're getting the training to do the job at that higher grade level, and if you're successful within that year, then they're going to give you that position when it opens up. They're not going to solicit it to somebody else. So it's going to open up more opportunity for people that are in stagnant positions. Like in CSC, we're all stuck in the sub. Can't go anywhere. So they're looking at that as well. You have to have some system in place that helps employees move from those max positions at a lower grade and help them move up. So that's something that's coming through this whole compound, so that they eliminate those kinds of positions, per se, that are stuck. in a certain lower grade level.
And I do apologize because I know our time is kind of bad here, but the other thing that was presented was the insourcing, and that is, what insourcing is jobs that are inherently governmental. Apparently you know right now you've got contractors that are ITs over in this building, 105, as well as 104. There's a couple hundred of them making well over 6 figures in income. Our proposal is to basically get rid of those guys, because if you have a job that is inherently governmental, and inherently governmental means you have established that this job is not going anywhere, but yet you house it with temporary employees. We know for a fact that this is not going anyplace. So now it's time to start funneling and making these jobs federal government employee positions, right? So the first year we were out, we talked to them and helped them understand that there's a law on the books called insourcing, which means once you find that out, you need to have these jobs insourced by federal employees. Last year, they studied it. This year, in our call, in our time with them, they said, fine, let's run a pilot. And I thank Steve for pressing that issue big time. We really worked with them, and now it looks as though you are going to have an opportunity right here in St. Louis, and Steve, if I'm wrong, it's securities, am I right?
That's the one they wanted to start with.
That would start with, right.
Securities, which you have to know, to have contractors out here doing this sort of work and paying them the salaries that they're paying them is a slap in our face. The biggest thing has been to get these contractors out of this building and fill these jobs with government employees, and if they don't have one of the things they said to us was, we don't have the skill set in this building. I said, you're so mistaken by that, because just because I do this function, you don't know what type of degree I have or what sort of outside experience we have out there. There's a lot of people in this building with a lot of experience, and they bid it. They're sold on it. So the issue is now you're going to have to teach us how to do these jobs. Run that process of a pilot so that we see how well we do in those jobs. And then you funnel it out eventually to move these guys out and get us in. That pilot's going to start when our weather gets a little bit better in March, because one of their issues was, let's wait till it gets a little warmer so we're not traveling back and forth to wrap this stuff up. But it's in the process, and it was a good year in just getting them this documentation so that it could be educated on it. What we have found is that when you go out there to DC, they get these jobs, the administrators from the secretary on, but they don't have the history of agriculture. So we go out and give them the history, and help educate them on it. Now, for CSC, we've really been stagnant forever. No upward mobility, no job creations in any way, shape, or form. What we've established now is this Lean Sigma group that's going to go through the entire agency and look at PD descriptions, job classifications, everything. Because in some areas, people should be making more money. In some areas, you know, they're probably where they are and they should be fine, but we could maybe combine functions because we're short-staffed. So those are the things they're opening to us right now with. That Lean Six Sigma group that's coming through, and Mr. Hernandez will be here next week. And there will be a full meeting with everyone with regards to this also. But PDs will be looked at. I know that's been one of Levita's things she's always talked to me about. Right, Levita, it's on the way. It's all a part of, it's all encompassed in this one thing. So our biggest thing is make sure we keep this place open, job creation, and then make this a center of excellence. It was so important, and I thank Nora because she lives in the area of Ann Wagner. I don't know if you know who Ann Wagner is. She's probably one of the most conservative Republican congresswomen out there. Even our people from AFGE were like, you really want to meet with her? And we said, hey, we're going Republican, Democrat, because everybody's got to see the issue. And the sell was, if you're a Tea Party person, that's fine. We won't talk about contracting out. What we'll say is, we're looking to bring government more, make it more efficient. They bid on it. Oh, you want to make it more efficient? Yes. And if we house these jobs and have all these things out here in St. Louis, the efficiency you're looking for, we can bring right here. Bid on it and sold on it big time. And Ann Wagner wants to get involved. So now it's not just Lacey Clay, Claire McCaskill. We have Dick Durbin and these guys. We also have Republican Party who are just as strong, that are very interested in what are you doing out here. Most of them did not know. I'm sorry. Sergeant Arms telling me my time is up. And we have to get people back. I do apologize, Steve.
Okay, so thank you. Next time, Jose has to. But I want to make a special appeal to my DCIO members that are here, is on this whole